Why, hey there, guys. What is going on? Sloppy here, and I'm going to try and talk fast because I don't want this video to be too long, but we have a lot to talk about. Creativeverse teased yesterday that today they were going to release a roadmap of their ideas for the future of Creativeverse, and they did it. I think, project manager, director, Thor, you guys have seen him in some of the live streams, I'm sure. He wrote a Tumblr post on their Tumblr. There'll be a link in the description to the post and their Tumblr about the roadmap, the long-term roadmap for Creativeverse. They're coming out of early access. There's some cool tidbits about, the history of the game. He talks about it. 2.6 million players. That's a huge number. And the original name was supposed to be Thereafter. So it's probably for the best they changed it to Creativeverse. Thereafter makes me think of Inside or something. But anyway, he shared 4 major milestones that are on their long-term roadmap, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. Again, link to the entire post down below. It's not a terribly long post, but it's a good read, and there's some cool stuff in it, and I highly recommend reading it. But also, I want to start this discussion with you guys. He laid out 4 long-term major milestones, and I think we should have an open discussion about it here, so I'd love to hear what you guys think about them in the comments. So the first thing they said is improved and multiplayer published adventures. That's fantastic. Improving adventures, I think, is going to be great. I think one of the big things with, two big things about adventures that I think need to happen. One, make the multiplayer. For one, there'll just be a ton of really cool adventures that come out of that. Gladiator arenas where you fight your friends, Pigsy soccer stadiums, whatever. Making it multiplayer just makes sense and would make it awesome. They put that in there. The other thing that I think would make adventures fantastic is being able to save your progress. So, you get halfway through an adventure, you have to go whatever. You pause, you can come back to that point in the adventure. I think that's the 2 major improvements to adventures. I honestly think adventures run very well, and they, the system that you find adventures, I think, works pretty well. So really, those are the 2 things I need to be improved with adventures, and they put multiplayer in there, so I'm sure that's what they're working towards, and I'm sure the saving progress they're aware of. Also, saving progress, you could make longer adventures, bigger stories, you could have whole developed worlds. I think it'd be really great. And you could see some really cool things. I mean, you could make an entire world, with different cities that you travel between and do a whole role-playing sort of adventure that you could then share with your friends. I think that would be really cool. The second thing on their major milestones are tools to help you build faster and better. I mean, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind that a lot of people have been thinking about is creative mode, where you don't need to actually build all the blocks and collect all the materials. I think that'd be really cool. Seeing some of the builds that people have already done when you have to collect the materials, if they put in some sort of creative mode where it's not as difficult to get the blocks, I can't imagine what people would make. Especially if you want to improve adventures, allowing people to build these worlds without the need to just do the absolute grind to get everything would be incredible. So tools to help you build faster and better. They didn't really say creative mode. They just said they wanted people to be able to build as fast as they can think. So that sort of lends itself to creative mode thinking. Maybe a simplified version of a survival mode, where things cost less could be another way to do it. I don't know. Tools to help you build faster and better. I think we can all agree. That's really cool. Entirely new ways to customize your world and even the gameplay. This is one that I thought was interesting. And it's very cool. Being able to customize your world and even the gameplay. That sounds awesome. They did a little paragraph for sort of each of these points. I'm sort of generally summarizing and going through them with my own thoughts. But they were saying, imagine loading into a world and not knowing what mobs you're going to see. The sky is a different color, that sort of stuff. And to me, that sounds pretty incredible. If you can customize your worlds to a T and just do all sorts of strange things, maybe make the entire world one biome, or, there's more of this type of block, or whatever. If you can customize your world and the gameplay, we already have a little bit of that. You can change the sky, you can make it low gravity, lower spawn rates, blah, blah, blah. I think just expanding on that is really cool. Any more ways that you can shape the game into your own vision, I think is really cool with a game that is essentially based on your own vision, right? You build what you want. The last thing that is a major milestone on their long-term roadmap is the one that I think will spark the most conversation and also kind of worries me the most. More ways to share your creations with the world, including some kind of revenue-sharing marketplace. I read that directly from the checklist they have at the end of the post. So those are the 4 things. But the last one there, the one I just read, more ways to share your creations with the world. That's fantastic. They briefly mention, you know, blueprints. Imagine user-created blueprints. I think that's really cool. You know, you see these things people build. If they want to put it up as a blueprint, I think it's really cool to be able to take that blueprint and make it. Now, the way the game's currently structured, a lot of the blueprints, you have to use coins. To get coins, you have to pay money. So I guess some kind of revenue sharing marketplace. If you can upload your own blueprint, people buy that with coins. You get a little bit of the coins. That sounds good in practice. What worries me is when you start incentivizing people to make builds to make money. I think part of what worries me is that maybe it becomes a bit of a business and less of a game for some people, which worries me a little bit. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about that, because I don't know. Would you guys be open to user-created blueprints making money for the user? / user-created blueprints making money for the game? I guess is another thing. It is a free-to-play game with some paid options here and there. But I am curious to hear what you guys think about that and all the points on this list. Again, if you want to check out the full article, link is in the description. These are just 4 major milestones on their long-term roadmap. I think 3 of them are really cool. The last one scares me a little bit. I do think user-created blueprints would be really cool because there's some amazing builds out there. Just on the line of things, they did say these are just sort of major things. We'll continue regularly adding new blocks and cool content and polishing the game overall. So they're definitely thinking about, you know, still tons of updates, still tons of new stuff. These are just their sort of bigger goals, I guess. And I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Let's have a bit of a discussion in the comments. Maybe I'll make another video where we can talk a little bit more about your comments or something. Either way, leave a like on this video. Let me know what you think. I would recommend reading the Tumblr post. And yeah, let's talk about it in the comments. And yeah, subscribe for Creativeverse, all that jazz. And I will catch you guys later. Ciao.